This is Judge Joe Brown, and you're watching We All Be News TV, the
News-free Dixie.
News-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Hello.
Hey, Judge Brown, how you doing?
Yeah, brother. What's happening now?
No, there's too much stuff going on. There's too much crazy stuff going on. You doing all right tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. I can't complain. I just want to talk to you a little bit. I know people be asking me all the time about what Judge think about what's going on right now. And I'll talk to you, get your perspective of things that's happening right now. Do you mind? Do you have some time?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
All right. All right, cool. Great. Here I go. We all be honored to have on once again the one and only, the Honorable Judge Joe Brown, to give his insight on what is going on in the world today. How are you doing tonight, sir?
All right, Mr. Hurd. I'm doing fine, young brother.
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice because I have a lot of things to ask you. I know people approach me in the street when I'm traveling. They always want to know what Judge is thinking about this and that. But I know that I've been following you on Twitter and social media, that you had a gripe about the recent blockbuster Wonder Woman. Your take on it was not very favorable to the movie. And I just want to get your take so people can understand what you're talking about and they can do their own research.
Okay. You can look this up, Wikipedia, online, Wonder Woman. It's very interesting. The guy that invented Wonder Woman, the author, is the same person that came up with the polygraph.
Okay.
Let's say he had a lot of freak in his soul. He and his wife had a live-in girlfriend that made a threesome for years, and he modeled Wonder Woman on her. Those bulletproof cuffs she's got, they're called the bracelets or cuffs of submission. That lasso that shines, that's supposed to be the rope of truth. And then she's got a coil of submission. And she started off as a lesbian. She went to being bisexual. And what she did, since this comic book came out in 1941, is she had this invisible airplane. And she and this Amazon lover would fly to Germany in this plane, and she'd seduce the wives of Nazi generals and get information. And then that went on through Korea with the Soviets and so forth until modern times. She was into bondage, submission, and it was really kind of weird. S&M, straight up and down. And he had the idea that men should yield to women, and women were the ones that were supposed to run things, and men should be willing to be tied up and beaten for punishment. Really weird. So anyway, some of that comes out in the movie. If you know the comics, then you know what you're looking at.
Oh, that's so wow.
So anyway, it's interesting that they make an action hero based on somebody like that, because I think that's rather novel amongst the superhero genre. Now, the movie itself is well done. Gal Gadot is a very beautiful looking woman, so you get into it, and a lot of people don't pick up the subliminal message. There's also another thing too. The chief, the Indian that's in there, is an interesting somebody. And he talks to her in a native language. It's basically Blackfoot, and his name is supposed to be Nappy. That's what he tells her. Now, Nappy is supposed to be, let's see if I can get the translation, old guy, old man, or wise one. And he's a Blackfoot demigod. He's the trickster representing the fickleness of the natural world. So I don't know what they're going to do with him, but they put him in there. So she's a goddess, or a demigod. You go from that point. But aside from the interest, it's just that it's looking like a vehicle to slip some more stuff in there to the youth. about things that most in society would find a little questionable. But
Wow.
without spoiling the movie, if you haven't seen it, there's that.
Yeah, I actually have seen the movie, and I agree with you. It is well done. I mean, I think it's a better origin story than Captain America was. But now, since you told me all this other information, I got to consider some things. So this movie has made, I think, almost $500 million worldwide, and it's still going strong. So
Yeah, it got
what?
beaten in the box office by Cars 3, Disney cartoon. Let me ask you something before you go on. You remember the scene where she got the blue dress?
Yes.
Do you think she had to take it from that woman?
No.
Yeah, that's fit in with the comics. So you remember what I said about wives of Nazi generals? This one takes place in World War One, but the original comics take place in World War II.
Yes.
So you got that's what she did in the first one comics.
So she basically seduced the lady to get her dress, or had sex with her.
Yeah.
Wow, this is interesting. Wow. So I mean, like, what do you think about? I know we talked about it with Deadpool and some of the other comic book movies. Is there a gay agenda or a homosexual agenda with these superhero movies?
Let me say this. They're taking advantage of the control they have over the Hollywood entertainment industry to, or have taken advantage of it to run about 45 years worth of very subtle propaganda to acclimate the public to their worldview. What I'm picking up is it's not just the homosexuality, which is their business. They can do that if they want. It's lifestyle. I put this to some people. It's like Alexander the Great was clearly, by all historical accounts, almost exclusively a homosexual, though he did have a few wives that he took. Julius Caesar was known to be bisexual, but the two of them pushed the precepts of manhood. What you get right now is an LGBTQ, let's say, extreme feminist propaganda thing to down manhood. See, that's what's different about it. It's not just a homosexuality, it's anti-masculinity, if you get what I mean. And that includes the concepts like duty, honor, obligation, responsibility, courage, bravery, and those things. And they want to downplay them, and they want to get rid of certain standards. And it's do your thing, do what you want to do, not what you should do. See, all those standards were looked at as part of a suite of things that set up a landscape that was anti their thing. So rather than just modifying it, they want to destroy it. That is the problem. And Hollywood itself is not a very honorable place. Most of it is a cesspool, and then there are sumps in the bottom of the cesspool. Aside from that, one of the things that they're doing that I do not like is that they're having a problem in broadcast TV and also by extension cable and satellite with commercial sponsorship. If you take a stopwatch and you time a typical show, you will find in 30 minutes you get 16 minutes of commercials and only 14 minutes of content, and they're running out of content. So what's going on politically is a great way to keep you tuned in so they can get advertising dollars. Now, what's going on in politics is not particularly unusual in the country's history or in recent history. It's just that the media hasn't made such a big deal out of it. They want you to stay tuned because they have little else to keep you interested in what they do.